Welcome to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Monster Jam World Finals heads to Nashville on July 1st in Nissan Stadium. And to help me discuss all things World Finals, it is my pleasure to introduce the Director of Stadium Operations, Scott Olinski. Scott, welcome to Inside Monster Jam.
Thank you, Scott. Great to be here.
So let's talk about Nashville. We spent 2 years in Orlando. Granted, we had a break in between there, but why was Nashville the perfect city to host World Finals after Florida?
I think when you look at Nashville as a whole, it's a great entertainment town. You know, you look one way and you have the Predators and the Titans. You look another way and you have concerts everywhere. You walk down Broadway and any way you look, there's music going constantly. So I think that lends itself to what we're looking for this year at the World Finals. And you're going to be entertained all day long, no matter where you're looking. If you're looking in the pit party, you have your autographs. If you go inside, you have the early portion of the event. And then at night, you have the main event. So it is a full day of entertainment.
And we've discussed before, the city has been very welcoming to Monster Jam. We're actually shutting down Broadway for a parade, and you don't see that happen too often. So how cooperative has the city of Nashville been for our efforts to bring our event there?
The city's been great. You know, I've been working with them since December on the parade and a bunch of other stuff, you know, with the venue. And it's been a lengthy process, but they're all excited. So it's Monster Jam trucks on Broadway has never been done before. So this is it's a first for everybody, and everybody's really excited for it.
Finally, Tristan England will be able to fit in somewhere with his cowboy hat. So I'm looking forward to that. Monster Jam for so many years at Sam Boyd Stadium, World Finals was a one-day event with racing and freestyle. We're going back to that old school feel now, but instead of 2 competitions in one day, it's 4 in one day. Why? What was the decision-making process with that to bring all 4 in the same day?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything. It's kind of going back to the roots of everything in one day, and then also trying to have that full day of entertainment. So, you know, before it's spread out over 2 days, not everybody can always do 2 days, you know, with work and other commitments. So putting everything into one day is really, I think, exciting for the fans and exciting to kind of pay homage to the World Finals of old.
And most of these events, by the way, will be streamed live. You can watch the press conference, the parade, the awards ceremony on monsterjam.com. But if you want to be at the event, get your tickets now at monsterjam.com. Let's talk about the track. Always a big hype about from our fans on social media. What's the track going to look like? We saw Orlando last year had the over-under. The previous year, 2019, was the elevated start. Can you tell us a little bit about what the track design is for World Finals?
Yeah, you know, last time we talked, we couldn't really discuss the track, but everybody kind of alluded to it looking at the seating chart. But we are bringing back the elevated start this year for Monster Jam World Finals, but with a little bit of a twist. So instead of just coming down and making that final J-hook, as soon as they come down the ramp, they're actually hitting a race lane, making that turn, coming down the straightaway, and then that final J-hook to hit a different ramp to cross the finish line. So I think it's continuing to change the game each year for the World Finals.
Yeah, the elevated start offered a different element to racing because it's almost like 2 separate racetracks. So I love bringing that back. How long did that process take to design that track and come up with the decision that we're going to do this and let's get it done?
The first time we did the elevated start took almost the whole year in terms of trying to realize, you know, working with engineers and seeing what had to be supported underneath to bring all that dirt up into the stands. So this year with Nissan Stadium, it's a little bit different in that it's completely on the ground. So we don't have to do any of that support. So we can bring all the dirt that we want in there and really kind of change the game with it.
And it's amazing that a seating chart can tip off some of our fans. They're like private detectives out there. They're sleuths looking at seating charts and patent offices for different things. Let's talk about the stunt. Always another exciting point that people look forward to or fans look forward to. Last year we did that crazy Spin Master playset stunt. We brought it to life, and then the Spin Master produced a toy. What's the plan for Nashville for that?
So again, working with Spin Master and the stunts, reimagining their new toys that they bring to life. So we are bringing to life the Thunder Roarers drop. You can do different things with it. So this one is actually a long jump. So it'll be start using the elevated start to come down and see how far it can jump, which we're looking to create an indoor stadium record. So I know Nissan Stadium's technically outdoor, but it's an inside in venue. So looking to see how far we can jump with that truck inside the stadium.
Now, Thunder Roars will be driven by Colt Stevens at World Finals. Do you have any idea who's driving Thunder Roars for the stunt?
I do.
Secret. Again, leaving something to the imagination. So I know you have a busy schedule coming up. I'd hate to ask this, but are you going to take a day off anytime here between now and World Finals, or?
Absolutely not. So if I'm not here working, I'm working at home on World Finals. So it's just constant World Finals from here until June 5th.
Well, that's a long time from now. So we have World Finals coming up at Nissan Stadium, July 1st. Much more on the way here at Inside Monster Jam. Get your tickets now at monsterjam.com to see it. But as I said, a lot of cool stuff being streamed on the live stream, including the awards ceremony, where maybe we'll see a repeat appearance from me singing something for fans. Who knows?
I can't wait. That's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to, Scott.
Me too. Scott Olinski, Director of Stadium Operations. You'll see him in Nashville. He won't be stressed at all. Won't be running around at all. But thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Good seeing you. Coming up next, Leslie Mears is here. I know it's going to be a great day. Adam Enticknap will join her. That is coming up next on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Welcome back to this very special World Finals preview edition of Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Right now, I'm joined in studio by the broadcast team for Stadium Championship Series Blue, Leslie Mears and Adam Enticknap. Guys, a pleasure to have you on Inside Monster Jam. Thanks.
I'm so excited to be here. This is my second time. Excited to be here with my broadcast partner, Leslie.
I thought you were going to rub it in for a second because Jordan kind of excluded me from the podcast here. But no, I'm excited, especially with our topic conversation today.
You're always the last one to the party here.
I am.
Let's talk about the schedule that we have. It's going to be a grueling week for everybody in Nashville. We're going to start it off with the parade down Broadway. The mayor Nashville is supposed to be there, Sydney Mack as well. The press conference, we have a big drivers meeting. We're also going to do a special Inside Monster Jam where some of you fans have an opportunity to watch us film this show. Practice on Friday, qualifying Friday night, the biggest pit party of the year, 4 competitions in one day, and then capped off with the award ceremony. So it's going to be a very grueling week. What part of that schedule are you, Leslie, most looking forward to?
A nap at the end, man. That is intense. Are you kidding me? I think for me, it's all about what leads up to the main event. You know, I love to be behind the scenes back there, talking to the drivers when they're qualifying and talking to them about how the track is laying out, how it's going to change, what they're anticipating in their matchups, who they think is the driver to beat, and all those things, especially for racing. I mean, that gets super intense. And then everybody gets a little more reserved talking about their freestyle because they don't want to give any secrets away. But, you know, for me, it's definitely going to be practice and qualifying. Those are the 2 most exciting parts of the weekend for me.
Adam?
You know, honestly, I'm excited for the whole entire thing. I've never actually been to a Monster Jam World Finals, so this is going to be my first ever Monster Jam World Finals. I've been to Nashville for Supercross, but I think it's going to be interesting for me because all of the drivers it's like a one-off weekend, you know, like we don't have to fix anything. It's go for the gusto. It's not really the series championship. And you see these drivers kind of, you know, especially drivers like Bari and Corey that are trying to be consistent, get those positions in the championship. This weekend, it's go for gold. So I'm excited to see what these drivers do when everything's on the line.
I'm amazed by the fact that we're going to shut down Broadway, one of the biggest
Yeah.
streets in one of the most hottest cities to go to as far as, you know, partying and families. There's something for everybody there. We're going to shut it down. I'm looking forward to being in the broadcast booth, calling the parade with you in the air conditioning while the hot sun beats down on Leslie on Broadway. Let's talk about the skills competition, the Great Clip Skills Challenge. You have Tom Meents, Tristan England, Weston Anderson, Tyler Menninga, John Zimmer Jr. making his first World Finals appearance, Camden Murphy, Ryan Anderson, Armando Castro. That is, if I could have picked a better 8, I don't think I could have, because I think those are the prime superstars in Monster Jam in that competition. Adam, what are your expectations of those competitors and skills?
You know, one of my favorite guys has to be Tristan England and Tyler Menninga. Those 2 are just so unbelievable at that competition. And you watch it week in and week out and you see those guys and they're just, the combination moves that those guys pull off is just unbelievable. But for me, again, as an athlete, you know, it's going to be very interesting to see who kind of rises to that occasion. You know, it's like everything's on the line here and who is going to succumb to the pressure. I think that's going to be interesting to watch.
For me, it's that too. And it's like, you know, we've seen Tom Meents come up with so many things, right? Like, what is he going to bring to the table? What is left out there for him to show everybody? And I think a lot of it too comes down to the order, right? It'll be a blind draw to see who goes out there first. We saw that 1 year ago in World Finals, right? We saw guys go out there and try different moves and tricks, and then Meents finally pulled it off. And so I think it comes down to order, to preparation, to who can come up with something new. And I know these guys are on the video game consoles working out things, trying to see what they can come up with to best the professor.
Let's go to the high jump. Ryan Anderson, Cynthia Gauthier, Camden Murphy, Colt Stevens, Bryce Kenny, Caleb Blood, Nick Pagliarulo, and Jim Kohler. Holy moly, that is a laundry list of high flyers in Monster Jam.
I think that there's some surprises in there for me, right? Like, I'm not surprised by Nick Pagliarulo. We've seen him do some ridiculous things on his tour this year. He has just been wild. But you throw in Bryce Kenny, you know, he is very tactical when it comes to the track. And I think that, you know, after Philly, you know, he kind of got his legs underneath of him. He got that first win of the year with his great crew chief. And so I think he's kind of a wild card in that race. And I'm excited to see what he can do.
And you know what's so cool about the World Finals that I love is that, like, you look at this list and every single driver is just like a heavy hitter. You know what I mean? Like, you're looking at champions, past champions, people that have been so close, people that have won this event before. And it's so exciting to kind of see, because I think it gets very tactical. It's really about, like, who gets to get to the high jump and which order, and how does that play out, and who really wants to, like, go for it. How's the truck reacting? It's high jump is unbelievable. Definitely going to be my favorite competition to watch.
We'll be back with more with Adam and Leslie and more Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil, after this. Welcome back to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. We're talking all things World Finals 22 with Adam Enticknap and Leslie Mears. We've talked about high jump and skills. Let's get to racing and freestyle. Your main field competitors, a lot of grave diggers here. Tyler Menninga, Adam Anderson, Weston Anderson, Brandon Vinson, Ryan Anderson, Tristan England, Camden Murphy, Caleb Blood, Colt Stevens, Tom Menz, Bryce Kenny, Cynthia Gauthier, Bari Musauer, Armando Castro, Todd LeDuc, Lindsey Reed, Cody Saucier, Corey Rumble, John Gordon, Jim Kohler, Cole Vennard, Ryan Disharoon, Chris Kohler, and Kristen Anderson. Big field of names there. Some first-timers. Armando Castro in the main field for the first time. Chris Kohler in there. Ryan Disharoon. Colt Stevens back for the first time since 2017. Leslie, anybody on that list that you are surprised to see?
I don't think that there's really any surprises. I mean, I think that Chris Kohler really earned a spot this year. I mean, and we want to talk about the fact that he won an event at every, you know, throughout the course of the season, racing, skills, and freestyle. And he's really proved, you know, himself on this stadium tour with some tough competitors out there. I'm super excited to see Lindsey Reed back, you know, to defend her title. You know, it was so fun to watch her wait it out after being so early in the field, and then to see her last year with her daughter. And I know she's kind of been chomping at the bit. You know, she hasn't got that opportunity to really defend. And so for her coming back, I think that's really great for her. I want to put a little note too on Todd LeDuc. I feel like he's a sleeper coming into the year. His season was a little lackluster, but we know that LeDuc always shows out for World Finals. And dependent upon the reveal of the track here, I think that, and what it lays out for them as far as the dirt is concerned, I think that he really has an opportunity to shine. So he could be a surprise based on the season that he's had this year.
You know, I think one of the guys that is a real sleeper for me is Ryan Disharoon. And, you know, with this event, like we talked about, it's just that one weekend event. So these guys, these independent drivers, you get a little bit more time to kind of get everything prepared. You've had the truck during the season, you know the kinks, you've got them worked out. And finally, you kind of see these trucks come together, and they're really, really good by this point. And with Supercross, you know, the end of the season was always the best time I felt on my bike, because I had it tuned for the race. And, you know, you can practice as much as you want and try to get the truck right or the bike right, but, you know, there's nothing like race events. I can't wait to see Ryan Disharoon and see if he can be one of the big upsets, because when that truck is good, he is fast.
In that main field, you have two defending champions. You have Brandon Vinson defending his racing championship, and you have Lindsey Reed, and she is still defending champion. She has not had the opportunity to defend that freestyle championship. 2019, she won it. We didn't have World Finals, and then last year she was a celebrity guest judge. Of those two in particular, who do you think stands the best chance of repeating as a World Finals champion?
You know, Brandon Vinson to me is really the standout between the two of them. You know, he's had a great season this year, and for him, he can get a little tight, right? And that was the thing I was really concerned for him about last year. He did very well in qualifying, but coming into the main field, he has a tendency to be a little tight, to maybe overthink some things, and he was able to relax. I had the opportunity to go to Florence, South Carolina with him for the weekend. Super relaxed, had his family there. Always a good time. Always very lighthearted. But when it came to the events, he just seemed more at ease. And I understand that he's a veteran, but in those settings, when you can kind of have that nonchalance about you, I think that really lends to your ability to go out there and really dial it in and hone it in once you're in the truck. And I think between the two of them, he's the standout there.
Tom Meents also has a chance to defend as well. Let's talk about Colt Stevens, back in World Finals for the first time as a driver since 2017, our former broadcast partner. Adam, what are your expectations for Colt at World Finals?
For Colt, I think if he can be in the top 3 in any of the events, I think that's a win for him. Again, this is kind of his first year back, and he's driving that new Thunder Roar's truck, so he's still trying to get everything figured out. But man, we've seen some big wow moments and highlights from this season from Colt, and I think that he can do it. And it's just one of those things where with World Finals, you never know what's going to happen. There's so much unexpected because it's that one weekend event. There's that extra pressure of like everybody that's good is here. You're coming in with so many new drivers and so many different styles of driving. You don't know. And I think that's what makes it so difficult about World Finals for these drivers to do well, is that unknown factor of what's going to happen.
And Adam, more than anyone in your experience racing, that racing is probably 75 to 90% mental.
Yes.
And really only, 30 to 10% physical, the physical ability in the truck. And so who can get their mind right on that day? That's always the big one for me. And we've seen Tyler fall a little flat in years past. I mean, I hate to do that to him, but I wonder if it'll be different this year because he has been so dominant and he has been able to ride so high that maybe that confidence will breed into the weekend and it'll help him out.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to working with you guys in Nashville. Thanks so much for joining me. Up next on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil, Armando Castro joins the show, so stay right where you are. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil. Today we're discussing all things World Finals 22, and it is my pleasure to go to the Great Clips hotline and welcome in the 2019 World Finals Speedster Racing Champion, Armando Castro. Armando, welcome to Inside Monster Jam.
Thank you for having me, Scott. I'm super excited to be back on this thing again.
Now, speaking of super excited, man, I know you have to be super excited to be a part of the main field of World Finals for the first time in your career. I know you and I have talked about that privately, about how much it means to you, man. Talk about your emotions when you found out you were heading to Nashville.
I'm just very honored, and it's such a privilege to be on such a big, a playing field, 24 competing trucks. World's Finals, this is it right here. This is like the Super Bowl of Monster Jam. Just to be named out there and representing for a team at El Toro Loco, man, it's just an honor and a privilege. And I'm super, super excited, looking forward to Nashville.
You competed last year in Orlando, specifically in the Great Clips Skills Challenge. You finished 5th. You get an opportunity to go back and do that again. So you have a little bit of redemption on your mind because you are widely considered one of the best in the sport in that competition.
Oh, absolutely. We had a little hiccup last time we were there for the two-wheel skills competition. My truck ended up shutting off when mid-moonwalk, and it kind of ended our run short. And man, I'm looking for that redemption. You said it yourself right there. We keep pushing the limits on these Monster Jam trucks every single time we go on the track. We're trying to come out with a new move and pushing these limits, man. It's so hard. I really don't think the fans know how hard it is to try to balance a 12,000 pound machine on just two BKT tires. So we make it look easy, but I tell you this right now, and I promise you it is not easy. We just make it look easy, but I am super excited to be going back, man. I'm kind of lost for words, and I'm going to bring some of that, arena feel. A lot of people like to kind of just go big and, do these big stunts and stuff, but I think I'm just going to stick to my roots, man. I've been in arena tours the last couple of years, and you don't really see a lot of people throw down and do some crazy, two-wheel skills during the freestyle run. So I am definitely looking forward to freestyle.
Well, I think the arena, the stamina that both you and your truck have to have after doing a grueling arena tour is going to help you, because you're going to be in 3 competitions in one day on the biggest stage in the entire world. So how do you feel that that's going to maybe help you, that you've done this grueling arena tour where you're doing these 5-6 event weekends?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's definitely come into a play. We were in the Monster Jam triple threat, so we were only not competing in the Monster Jam trucks. We were competing in the Monster Jam quads and ATVs and speedsters. I'm sorry. So yeah, it built my stamina a lot, and it's just a lot in one show. So competing those three elements, it's going to be super tiring, but I am ready for it. My body is built for it. And I keep hitting the iron, man, because I need to stay in shape. And so I'm just super honored, man. It's such a privilege to be competing at Monster Jam World Finals, man. Nashville, Tennessee, July 1st. Make sure you buy your tickets because it's going to be one heck of a show.
You're doing my job right now, selling the tickets, man. I'm glad you brought up the Triple Threat Series, because in 2019 in Orlando, the Triple Threat Series was a part of World Finals, and you walked out of there with the World Finals championship. You got a medal for that, which is a wonderful moment, but you win racing or freestyle, and you're going to get a big trophy. Same with the other ones. Talk a little bit about what it would mean to you because you and I have talked about this, and there's a lot of fans out there that feel like the Speedster and the ATVs shouldn't count in the record books. They do. You are a World Finals champion. Nobody's going to take that away from you, but to stand up on that podium in one of the 4 big competitions this year in Nashville, what would that mean to you?
Oh man, I mean everything to me. All the blood, sweat, and tears that we go through each and every year. First quarter, I was on the longest arena tour, 19 weekends. We actually got to do a show together, and you've seen how long it was. So it'd mean a lot to me. Kind of be the cherry on top of my year this year. 2023, capital off with a Monster Jam World Finals championship once again. As you see right here, right behind me, is a Speedster racing champion. It's just incredible. Like you said, and nobody can take it from me. It is forever in the Monster Jam history books as the first ever Speedster racing champion. Like I said, a lot of people don't think it means a lot, but it holds weight at the end of the day. That's where I came from. Arena's triple threat. So we were, bashing these things every single weekend, different cities. And yeah, like I said, we're able to get the win there. And hopefully we can bring the good luck back to World Finals in Nashville. And man, to be holding, another championship in my hand and, being aside the greats, the legends that we have here in the sport, it would mean a lot to me. And I'm just super excited to be competing at the 24, in the 24 truck lineup. So I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
Well, you and I got to tear up Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Now we get to tear up Nashville, Tennessee. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. I'm so happy for you. I know how much this means to you, Armando, and thanks for joining me. Man, I'll see you at World Finals.
Thank you, Scott, for having me, and I'll see you guys at World Finals.
That's all the time we have. I will see you in Nashville July 1st. Get your tickets at monsterjam.com and join me right here next time on Inside Monster Jam, powered by Lucas Oil.